It was October and it was cold in Hungary. I couldn't bring myself to ride all the way to Corsica. Furthermore, I believe spending 1,000 kilometers on a motorway isn't the best way to spend a holiday. So we loaded the bike in a trailer and towed it all the way to the ferry. This way, we could start driving late in the afternoon and travel during the night, avoiding the traffic and saving a day. So we left around 5 or 6 in the afternoon and reached the port at Livorno around 6 in the morning. We were not the only ones to come up with this idea. Other trailers with bikes were already queuing there from Germany and Austria. Luckily on the ferry, I finally had the chance to sleep a few hours curled up in an armchair in the bar, so as you can imagine, I was fresh as a daisy for the rest of the day. Right after rolling off the ramps in Bastia, we were immediately greeted with the late summer's hot touch, a warm breeze and blinding sun. A fantastic change from the cold of the night and the lurking autumn back at home. Our lodging was in Corte, in the center of the island, in a farmhouse/restaurant, minus the latter one, since the kitchen was closed for the off-season just on the date of our arrival. Since the French are not willing to be in the same time zone as the English, we could get up just before dawn, still in the dark, and could ride long and still get back before the night falled. We needed that extra rideable time in the morning, since the daylight was noticeably shorter this time of the year. I think it's corny to return from a trip and immediately say, "Oh, we have to get back, it was great." There are so many places that you have to visit, so I try not to make such bold statements. When we visit a place for the second or third time, there must be a strong reason behind it. Maybe we have missed some places, or we have left out great opportunities, or I want to show it to someone else. So I have to come up with exact reasons, mainly for myself, to justify the revisit. Nowadays, video making counts as a strong one, because in the past we just made photos, wrote articles, made lasting memories, but who needs those, right? Actually, from Corsica we have some grainy videos, but they look like they were made on a pinhole camera by a drunken sailor, so they don't count. Our first trip took us to the western part of the island, riding on the D84 to Col de Vergio. Just as before, I still can't speak French, so I'm again heavily relying on the internet for the right pronunciation, so please don't judge me too heavily. In Corsica, practically most of the roads are mountain roads. Of course, this is not completely true, but you will be surprised if a road is straight and not trying to tie a knot on itself. The only question is whether it's a narrow one-lane road where you just roam around and sightsee, or is it a wide and sticky asphalt with sweeping bends which are just begging for some carving. On this road, every straight line was a surprise, just bends intertwined into each other. We were traveling between the highest mountains of the island. Before riding all the way to the coast, we made a quick detour to Spelunca and Col de Piana. I'm stopping for a second before saying these names because I'm trying to understand the phonetic note I made, just like Antonio Banderas during the shooting of the Mambo Kings, who couldn't speak English at that time and learned his lines phonetically. We have so many similarities, like two eggs, uncanny. Anyway, This region is great for hiking, and maybe this will be our next reason which brings us back here. Porto was sleeping. It was obvious we were in the off-season. The parking places were mostly empty, no buses full of people, no crowd in the small shops, no one was in the sea. Flip side, the cafes were still going strong. In Hungary, we have a crepe that's filled with ground stew and covered with a gravy and sour cream mix. Here they haven't yet reached that height in gastronomy, but have no fear, the French are still great with food. There we tried a salted crepe with cheese or fromage if you like. Just after we left Porto, we were right at the doorstep of a beautiful natural site, the Lake Calanques, on route D812. I saw pictures. This place can be crowded with buses and cars and tour groups, to the point where everyone is just sitting in traffic taking photos through the windows, because it's impossible to park and get out of the car. Now it was livable. I heard the best possible time to visit it would be at sunset. The orange glow would drown itself in the sea, enhancing the colors on the rocks at the point they look surreal. But then I would stay at Porto or Cages, because it's not fun to ride these narrow roads in the dark with all the black pigs, the slow cows roaming around. After we recharged ourselves with the sights, we took a left turn at Carges and through the D70 we headed back to Corte, mostly on the same way we came, which was more than acceptable for me. Corte, being once the capital of the Corsican independent state during the period of Pascal Paoli, still has the vibe of a leading city. The main sight, of course, is the citadel, and the stroll in the city after dark is very romantic. So Pascal, whose statue is standing here, is the one national hero who is evoked by Corsicans if we talk about the history and consciousness of the island. And as I have learned, Napoleon is the one who will be mentioned by the French in the same situation. Next time, I will talk about the local language a bit while we visit the finger of Corsica and Bastia.